So I'll be sure to jot you a note and let you know what's happening when. But I've got a bunch of movies coming out. One is called Underdogs Rising. It's an esports movie. So esports has kind of taken the world by storm. This is the new, I guess, competitive games for kids these days, is rather than go out and have a basketball game or a football game or a soccer game, it's a video game. And there are these teams that compete on a huge level. And in this movie, gigantic stadium level, competing for millions of dollars. And this is actually going on. This is a big business where some of these teams are bankrolled with millions and millions of dollars from sponsorships and coaches, and they compete and they train all day and they compete. And this is about an underdog team that competes to the finals. And I think it'll come out in early 2020, but when I have a date, I'll tell you. Another movie I did is called Painted Beauty, directed by Rob Fryer, and it stars a bunch of really, really strong, good actors that you would probably know, with people like Kevin McNally, who's been in all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Him and I are kind of the comic relief in this movie as a couple of bumbling detectives. But Claire Holt is the lead, who people may know from Vampire Diaries and I think 40 Meters Down, whatever that shark movie was called with Mandy Moore. You've got Bai Ling, you've got Bar Pally, you've got Clifton Collins or Clifton Collins Jr. as he's known, who is one of those great character actors and is amazing on Westworld if you watch the show. So he plays the serial killer and is chilling in this film. So I foresee that coming out in early 2020 as well. And then I shot a thriller called Deception about a teenage boy who stalks, an 18-year-old boy who stalks this high school girl and her mother, and on the husband and the father. So actually a good guy for a change, playing just a good, straight, wholesome, good dad and husband guy. So that should be out. That should be out this year, and I'll let you know about that. And I just wrapped on my latest film on Friday, and it may be my favorite movie ever. And it's called Reboot Camp, and it stars myself as the lead, with Kelly Price and Maya Stoyan, and then some veteran comic guys like David Koechner and Ed Begley Jr. Eric Roberts and his wife play themselves and do a hysterical cameo. Chaz Bono, Sonny and Cher's son, has a great part in this. Lindsay Shaw, I think, in a comeback from when she was the villain on Pretty Little Liars. Pearson Faudet, who's famous from Bold and the Beautiful. Eddie McClintock. I mean, the cast is huge. I even have Jarul in a really funny bit with me. So that movie, I think, is going to be gigantic. That is going to be probably the funniest thing I've ever done. And I've done a lot of comedy, going back, of course, to Full House, and even recently Fuller House. So I'm really, really excited about this movie, and I will keep you informed on that one. But that I also foresee is an early 2020 release. And of course, my horror movie, The Unwilling, is on Amazon right now. If you've got Amazon Prime, it's free, and it's a movie I wrote and starred in. And it is a low-budget horror movie, but I'm proud of it nonetheless. For that genre, I think we did a pretty good job, and it's a fun little watch if you're into horror movies.
Occasionally. Yeah. I try to watch a lot of comedies because I do love a good nitty-gritty horror film, but for many years I felt that the world is pretty sad and dramatic, and horrible as it is. So 90% of the movies I have are comedies, but I definitely do check out horror films.
Well, I mean, I got to tell you, it's so much fun being back in a comedy, and I started in comedy, and it's like all of the '90s. That's all I did. I've probably shot 100 episodes of comedy television, and so I don't know how these shifts happen. I like that the industry finds me versatile and will give me everything from the leading man to a comic character to a rapist and a killer. I mean, great. I want to play all these different roles, but my sweet spot that I love is comedy. And so the gift for me this year was getting to star in a comedy again. So I'm really excited about Reboot Camp. So keep your eyes out for that one. That one is going to be really, really, really good. And it's a mockumentary style movie like Best in Show or Spinal Tap or one of those. So, those are having Ed Begley. He's a veteran of those kinds of movies. Having Ed Begley for that was amazing, and the movie's just really funny. I play a French Canadian guy, so I'll just leave it at that, and you'll have to watch the rest to see how it all unfolds.
And I noticed there is a website. If anybody wants a short description, it is therebootcamp.net.
That's total. I'm going to look it up as you're saying that. I didn't even know that. Of the rebootcamp.net. Hold on. Let me see if that's it. I know that we have.
It looks like a great movie, so I hope it's yours.
All right. I didn't even know we had a website up yet. That is not something from my department. But the rebootcamp.net.
.net.
I don't know if that's us. So hold on. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Look at that. This is it.
It looks like the plot looks really interesting.
Yeah, so the plot, I'll give you the brief synopsis. So I play a guy named Seymour Barr, who his wife, in this case, my wife is played by Maxime Roy, or Maxim Roy, as she calls herself in America. She's a pretty famous Quebec actress. So she leaves me, if you can believe that, for a self-help guru after blowing through all our money on a bunch of self-help gurus. And just kind of reeling from this, I decide, you know what, I'm going to become one of these guys. And my brother, Danny, played by Kelly Price, he ends up being a filmmaker. He's like, I'll shoot it, and we'll document it. We'll make a documentary about it. And so these guys stage a documentary to see what happens when they create this character, Gordon Saint-Pierre, and see what happens when he starts his own cult. And, it wasn't even supposed to be a cult. It was supposed to be a self-help group, but it turns into a full-blown cult. And all these celebrities start coming, and then it becomes something so big they don't know how to stop it. And hence the comedy. So that's the movie in a nutshell. Director is busy editing it right now. And, there will be a cut really soon. So I'm excited.
Very awesome. I can't wait. I guess final question, since you've played the boyfriend, the boy next door, the bad guy, what role haven't you played or character haven't you played that you would like to in the future?
Wow. Who have I not played? I have not played a doctor, if you can believe that. So I have not played a doctor. I would love to do that at one point. Why not? And I've played a lawyer before, but I really love playing lawyers for like a legal drama. I only did it once with that Joe Michael Hayes. So I would love to do that again. Let's say lawyer and doctor in terms of what kind of guy, in terms of location. It's something I'd certainly love to play. And, I love playing a rock and roll star, if you could call it that, when I was on Full House. I think we should have a bring back Viper in the band hashtag or something. I think we were called Hot Daddy and the Monkey Puppets. Maybe we should bring the band back for the finale of Fuller House. Those are good times.
It just is so interesting. I didn't want to bring up a question about it because we've talked about it in the past, but being that the original Full House was on in my childhood instead of before I was born, the fact that, even before Fuller House started, the love has always been there for it. So I think that's why everyone remembers those characters, because they've all meant so much to us over the years.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I did 5 episodes, on Full House, and people really remembered that character. I mean, it's still a lot of episodes, but people remember that character so vividly as such a integral part of the series. And I've gotten a lot of fans from that, and a lot of people who've reached out to me because of it. So I have nothing but positive things to say about Full House, and especially, so young in my career, it was really a great thing that happened to me. And I kind of got lucky from that cast in that I got some of the benefits of that, but I also didn't get some of the negative parts of that. And I think it was tough for a bunch of the cast after the show to be looked at for anything else, when you're on a big hit like that. And you have to understand, in those days, you look at the biggest hits on TV today, they don't get anywhere near the numbers that we were getting on Full House back in those days when there were less channels. And, that lineup of sitcoms just cleaned up with household ratings. So, so many people were watching it that it was tough for a lot of those sitcom stars to transition to other stuff. And you had people like Ted Danson, certainly Stamos, did lots of stuff post Full House, but I think it was tough for a lot of the cast. So it was a real blessing when Fuller House came back for some of those people to get right back to, starring on the show again. And for me, I've been one of these weird journeymen that just have not stopped working, just keep working, and yet never got too big or too known in any one of these shows that I couldn't be seen as something else. So I guess I'm almost, weirdly enough, even though I've been in the leading man enough times, it's like I'm still, I guess, one of these character actors that's just different in so many movies. Everything from the gay Nazi in Exodus to Shanghai to Mr. Right and DJ and Take. From comedy to drama to mockumentary to you name it. So, what haven't I done that I want to do? I've done a lot of different stuff. I'm really blessed, and I guess I can just keep going like this, and people want to keep hiring me for different kinds of roles. I'll be quite happy.
So I think a gay Nazi would say, "Hi."
Yeah, there's nothing.
Well, we're going to get disconnected. We're getting yelled at by the animatronic British voiceover lady that exists only on Blog Talk Radio. But thank you so very much, David, for coming back. You've given me a lot of great interviews, and I really appreciate everything. Great to hear you're still kicking butt out there, and I cannot wait to see the reboot movie.
No problem. Anytime, brother. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Okay. You got it.
Have a great night. Bye.
You too.
Oh, that's so annoying. I wish you guys heard that. It has been a while, but I went back and have listened to old shows I did 5-6 years ago, and I finally figured out that thankfully you guys don't hear that, because when we have less than a minute, it starts going 90 seconds, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, and then we're technically off air, but we still record for a few minutes over. So some of the stuff we got coming up. On August 16th, we'll welcome, over 40 years as lead singer of Helix, Brian Vollmer. August 20th, Italian-American actor Vito D'Ambrosio. August 26th at 1 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time, the return of Eliza Snyder. And, of course, 2019 StilCon, September 6th and 7th at Cross Game Law, Montreal, Illinois. 2019 Dark History and HorrorCon, October 26th and 27th, 2019. At the City Center in Champaign, Illinois. SoCon is a free event.